Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. After much anticipation, many requests, and months of waiting with bated breath, finally, the Tudor Heritage Black Bay 58 is here for review. Reference 79030 in stainless steel. The watch is a very wearable 39mm, traditionally sized and traditionally proportioned. This is the Black Bay 41's smaller and more historically astute younger brother. This one has been a scholar of vintage Tudor and Rolex Submariners, slimmer and perhaps better measured in its size and proportions. It takes us back to the ETA-powered Tudors, which is really where their heritage lies, in that it is slim at only 12mm thick and compact at only 39mm in diameter. It's still not a small watch, as it measures 47.7mm lug-to-lug, and it has a traditional spacing between the lugs of 20mm, so you'll have a universe of OEM and aftermarket strap options in that size. I will mention that though this quasi-NATO strap is one of the most striking and cost-effective options, nevertheless, it does create a little bit of extra stack height, so if you're looking for the slimmest possible option, you want to get it on a conventional strap or a bracelet. Right here it actually measures 13.3mm thick if you include the backing of the NATO-style underlay. Now, the timepiece does have a wonderful NATO, though, better than any 50s frogman could have imagined. You can see that even the minder loops are alternately satin-finished and polished beveled stainless steel. This is a handsome Clevis-style counterbalanced pin buckle with a Tudor shield built right in, and there's even a recess within the buckle for the pin with a contrasting satin and polish between the two components. Nice! The material is thick and destined for a long and rugged life. It'll wear well. I can imagine this being a better part of a decade strap, provided you don't have some sort of weird glandular disorder. Now, you can see how it does stack up on the case back, so if you want the thinnest Black Bay 58, again, you want to put it on the other strap or the bracelet. Note that the Tudor rose on the exterior of the crown doesn't have the lacquered or inked overlay that you find on a conventional Black Bay, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I have a Black Bay S&G right here. You can see this is actually slightly sunken with a lacquer inlay, whereas this is somewhat raised as opposed to being an indentation stamped in. This one's relieved from the base of the crown. Now, the case is simple and strong. As you can see, it features, give ourselves a bit more light here, it features handsome polished bevels, satin on the lug hoods and then polish on the flanks. Excuse my fingerprints, but such is the nature. You can see that the bevels are actually in better proportion to the case itself on the slimmer case. They're romantic on the standard Black Bay, but they're dwarfed by the sheer height of the case. And again, I'm going to beat up on the S&G a little bit here, but you can see how the bevels proportionally are elegant, but they don't hold up against the sheer of the case, whereas on the Black Bay 58, they do look historically accurate, as they would have been on a 60s Tudor Submariner or Rolex Submariner. And speaking of which, Tudor goes full vintage evocative with the bezel and the dial. One thing that is very contemporary is that it's a unidirectional rotating bezel. You can line up the luminescent index with the minute hand, and whereas the previous 60s and 50s watches that it references would have had a bidirectional bezel, this is the real thing for modern diving. You have a red triangle, again, vintage evocative. You have a faded sort of, I would call it a beige metallic for all of the indices as well as numerals on the matte black anodized aluminum bezel. And then you can also see that the timepiece features a matte black base with gilt-style golden printing and a chapter ring. Again, we're going full vintage evocative. One feature that's a little bit later than the rest of the historic references, you can see the Snowflake style seconds in hour hand. That's more of a late 60s to mid 70s reference. So the watch is a little bit of a greatest hits anthology for Tudor. Now, underneath the caseback, surprisingly, a movement made just for this watch, smaller than the MT5602. This is the MT5402, smaller and properly sized for the case. Hacking seconds, it features a 28.8 beat rate, it features 27 joules, 70-hour power reserve, automatic winding, free sprung balance, full balance bridge for toughness, those two features combined in a silicone hairspring for robust anti-magnetism, 200-meter water resistance. It features a screw-down crown, and you can see, unlike the larger Black Bays, there's no color to the sleeve for the crown. It's actually a steel color, which I find a little bit less cloying. The colored crown sleeves are maybe too cute by half on the other Black Bays. This one is a bit more elemental. The timepiece is a modern watch in every respect, a COSC certified Swiss chronometer, manufacturer movement, but perhaps the best size and proportions in class, as well as among the Tudor Black Bay options. This is the 2018 to present Black Bay 58. See it and make it yours. Applique indices, ivory color, superluminova, and all on the watch box. And have no fear, while a lot of simulated patina luminova doesn't actually do the job after dark, this particular strain of ivory superluminova on the Black Bay 58 glows like an absolute torch.